Let me tell you a story. I received a message on Instagram from a fellow content creator in Ghana who wanted to switch from her iPhone 7 Plus to a phone which had better cameras. And she had seen the marketing and hype about the Tecno Camon 17 Pro being the phone with the clearest selfie camera. So she wanted me to buy the phone, review it, and then give it to her. Okay, so I'm on my way to buy the phone with the clearest selfie camera, which according to Tecno is the Tecno Camon 17 Pro. I can't wait to unbox it and review it and let you guys know my thoughts on this phone coming up next. I drove to the Achimota Mall in Accra and entered the shop to buy the phone. But it was an Infinix shop, and though Infinix and Tecno are from the same mother company, they were not selling the Tecno Camon 17 Pro. So I quickly moved to the next shop and said, I want the phone with the clearest selfie camera. They were confused for a minute, but I showed them this. They gave me the phone. I could not wait to get home to try out the phone with the clearest selfie camera. Ladies and gentlemen, the phone with the clearest selfie camera. Okay, so this is the video quality you get from the phone with the clearest selfie camera in the world. The background is super overexposed. At least it manages to keep my face in focus, but this got to be one of the worst selfie cameras I've seen for recording video in my life. Yeah, I know my background is kind of brighter than my face, but even if I was to step into the sun, it makes it even worse. The colors, my skin tones, everything is just terrible. I look like a purple guy. I'm a black man. This is crazy. So we're going to review the Tecno Camon 17 Pro, looking at everything that's good and everything that's terrible coming up next.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
So I've been using the Tecno Camon 17 Pro for over a month, and this is my honest opinion of the phone. This phone has some really great specs, so we will run quickly through them and then we will talk about the cameras in detail. The Tecno Camon 17 Pro is sold for 1,625 cedis in Ghana, and at that price point, you get 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, which is quite impressive. You also get a MediaTek Helio G95 processor, which is a good gaming processor. Any game, and I mean any game you throw at it, this phone can handle, and you can play games at good graphics settings. It also checks all the list of items most people want from a phone. A big battery, check. This phone has 5000 milliamperes. Fast charging, check. 25 watts. 3.5mm port, check. Stereo speakers, check. High refresh rate display, check. Android 11, check. Side-mounted fingerprint sensor, check. Dual SIM tray with dedicated slots for expandable storage, check. Almost everything is checked. Almost. This phone is made of glass in front and plastic at the back. The glass in front does not have the typical protection you get on most phones, so it is more likely to scratch and shatter if you drop it. So buy a case and put a screen protector on it. Link in the description below for some of the good cases I found online. Still on the display, though this phone has a 90Hz refresh rate display, it comes with an IPS LCD display. It is not bad, but it is not the brightest display when you are using this phone outdoors. You can still enjoy all your content uninterrupted since this is a 1080p display with a hole punch camera. Speaking of that front camera, let us address the elephant in the room. On paper, this phone should have some of the best cameras in any mid-range phone. I mean, you have a 64 megapixel main camera which can record up to 4K 30 frames per second. You have a 16 megapixel ultra wide and 2 other useless camera lenses I can guarantee you will never use. You have a 2 megapixel depth lens and a 2 megapixel monochrome lens. Now this is the kind of quality you would get on the main 64 megapixel camera when recording video. Okay, so this is shooting with the main 64 megapixel lens, and these things about megapixels, we would have to talk about it on another occasion because these 4 megapixels doesn't really mean anything. 64 megapixels is not better than 48 megapixels if your video quality looks like what you're getting from this one. And this is the kind of quality you're going to get from the 16 megapixel ultra wide camera when recording video. And I hope it's better. I hope it's good because I can't see the screen, so I hope when I check I'm not going to be super disappointed. I hope the background is good. I genuinely pray that this can be fixed with a software update. But I also noticed that the lens performed better indoors than outdoors. I guess there's a kind of environment it performs well in. Now let us take a look at the clearest selfie camera in the world. This phone camera was not made for black people like myself. Like if you're a very dark person. That's not how I look like. Not at all. The background looks like when you have malaria fever, the way you see the world. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. All in all, I think this phone is a good phone. But I have a problem with brands when they mislead consumers with this kind of hype and marketing, which would make people part with their hard-earned cash because they believe that this camera will be better than that of their iPhone 7 Plus camera. So, should you buy this phone? Yes, if you do not care about cameras. You want a good phone with lots of storage and RAM, a big battery, and checks most of the boxes at a really competitive price, then go ahead and buy the Tecno Camon 17 Pro. I have a comparison of the Tecno Camon 17 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy A52 coming up. So if you're new to my channel, do consider subscribing and turning on all notifications so you don't miss that video. I do mobile phone reviews, mobile app reviews, and I bring to you affordable gadget reviews to help you make an informed decision when you are making your next purchase. Now let me say this, I am willing to delete this video and render an apology if Tecno can give me a unit which works better than the one I bought. Maybe, just maybe, I got a defective unit. Thanks, baby.